Alright, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. Today I have another PU match. This one is against Dark J, and I'm using the same PU team as my last video, and my opponent has a pretty different team over there. Some interesting Pokemon that often, I mean, PU is really one of the tiers that things can be really interesting and catch you off guard. So anyways, let's just hop right into it here. So I decided to lead off with my Meganium as he leads off with Eduardo the Cricketune. And I don't see a lot of Cricketune, but the ones that I do tend to be Sticky Web lead set. So I decided to switch right out into Rock Candy, who is actually going to take a taunt here. So that's actually pretty terrible. The main idea behind Carbink is to set up screens, stealth rocks, and all that kind of fun stuff. I can't do that now, unfortunately, as he's going to set up his free Sticky Web, as that's kind of terrible. Sticky Web really kind of destroys me. I don't have a Spinner or a Defogger on this team, so yeah, I just decided to throw the Moon at this thing just because I know that they're really, frail, can't take hits, and I do about half to that, and also I wanted to break that thing's Focus Sash, so that's cool. Now I'm just going to go for one more Moonblast as he makes a nice play and switches into the Servine. I think that's what this thing, yeah, Servine. So Moonblast is not going to do a damn thing, and I know that these things are essentially just used for Contrary, so he's probably going to go for the Leaf Storm to try to raise his special attack. So I'm going to switch into my special defense wall, who is Meganium again, as he goes for the Leaf Storm. With no boosts, obviously it's not going to do anything, I resist that, and I'm specially bulky, so yeah, so he's going to get a special attack raise from the Contrary. If you're unfamiliar, the whole Superior Evolution line actually gets the hidden ability, Contrary, which actually makes stat changes reversed. So if someone was going to bring an Intimidate Pokemon on you, you would actually get an attack raise rather than a minus, which is really nice. So the same thing goes for the Leaf Storm, which makes these things really useful. So he reveals to me that he does have Hidden Power Ice or Hidden Power Fire. At this point, I'm not really sure. I kind of expect it to be Ice because it seems more useful in the metagame, but I can't be too sure. Honestly, it doesn't really matter at this point, as I'm just going to stay in here. He's going to go for another Leaf Storm just to basically get the another special attack raise, as I believe I go for the Synthesis here. So I'm just going to get my health back. Unfortunately, though, he is going to keep getting special attack raises. So at some point, his Hidden Power Ices are going to be able to do enough damage to take Flora out. But if I do bring myself back to full, I do have a chance to live another one. So that's really cool. I basically have to wait for this toxic damage to whittle this thing down. And Meganium's a perfect Pokemon for this thing, especially because I have the special defense bulkiness. I'm able to take his attacks, even with the +4 special attack. So I'm just going to go for one more Synthesis, staying in here, just photosynthesizing up a storm, doing plant things, all nice and fun stuff. As after the leftovers, I'm actually way back to full, so I know that I can take another Hidden Power Ice. That means he is going to have to hit me with one more Leaf Storm, and then a Hidden Power Ice if he does want to take out Meganium. So he's going to go for a Leaf Storm again, as he realizes he is going to need some more special attack. So it's starting to do a decent amount of damage there. I mean, even resisted, that did a dick load of damage to Meganium. As I went for the Giga Drain on this turn, I probably should have gone for the Synthesis, but as you'll see, this matchup actually works out for me. So after the leftovers, I'm going to be, above half, looking pretty nice here. Although one more Hidden Power will take me out at this health. So I actually make a pretty risky play here, knowing that he only has one more attack left in him. He's probably going to want to get the most out of it. So I decide to stay in. He expects me to switch out, goes for the Giga Drain. That is not going to end up killing Meganium, and I'm going to go for the Synthesis yet again, and I'm going to be about back to full health here, as after the toxic damage, I believe that's is going to be a dead Servine. So that was a pretty risky play. He could have just clicked Hidden Power Ice there and just killed me, but he predicted me to switch, wanting to save my Meganium, and my risky play actually worked out for me there. So the Snivy goes down, or no, the Servine goes down, as Meganium's over here at full health. So that was a decent matchup. Took forever, but I was able to play that correctly. So now he's going to switch into Alfalfa, which is a classic nickname for that thing with his little hair sticking out. And he's going to hit me with a Toxic. Unfortunately, this is a different Meganium that I have that actually does not have freaking aromatherapy. So I'm not able to get rid of the poison, which is kind of a bummer. But I go for the Giga Drain on the Politoed. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage, which tells me this thing's definitely a bulky build. As you'll see later, he's actually a Perish Song one, which is pretty damn interesting. So he's actually going to switch this Politoed out. He goes into the Young Zapdos, which is the Emolga. So the Emolga has a decent matchup against me. I don't really have anything that can hurt this thing. He could potentially have Acrobatics or something along the lines of that, so it could be pretty terrible. Here I decide, I'm thinking about it, I'm like, he does have the chance to substitute and try to baton pass some stuff, which is what I usually see on Emolga. But I actually decide to risk it again, and I go for the Leech Seed here, which is unfortunate because he is going to set up a substitute, meaning he's going to get a free sub, and Meganium's over here seeding the freaking beanbag, which isn't going to do a damn thing, and I'm just losing health to the poison here. So I want to save Meganium. By the looks of it, it does work against his team. So I am going to want to save Meganium for later. So after this poison damage, I'm going to get his ass the hell out of here. And I need to develop a plan to get rid of this damn substitute. First off, I need to figure out what he's going to even want to baton pass into. Usually, if you see a substitute Amalga, it's probably going to be like agility baton pass or something along the lines of that. So I decided to switch into Rock Candy here, as I know that he's not going to be able to hurt me too bad. He goes for the knockoff, which does kind of suck, and that's going to get rid of my Light Clay. So now my screens aren't going to last for too long. But it doesn't really matter. My main focus here is getting rid of this damn substitute. So he is actually going to baton pass with no stat boost, just going to baton pass the substitute. He decides to bring in the Dusclops, which is actually not too bad for me because at least it's not a Pokemon that's going to start setting up or something behind the substitute. So that's cool. Hansley's going to come out here, put out the beanbag as I actually set up the Stealth Rock, because I figured it would be pretty nice against a couple of this Pokemon on his team taking Stealth Rock damage coming in and out, so that's pretty cool. So I'm just gonna, honestly, at this point my main objective is still to just get rid of this damn substitute. So I go for the Moon Blast. Isn't gonna knock it out yet, but I figure it's probably gonna take, you know, 2 or 3 to get this thing out of here. Dusclops, he ain't gonna let his beanbag die that easily. So I'm now Will-O-Wisp, which is kind of a bummer because I'm gonna take continual chip damage, seeing as I don't have any leftovers or any way to recover. Carbink is pretty much a little ticking time bomb here. So he's going to go for the Hex as I just throw another Moon Blast at it. The Hex is fortunately not going to do a whole lot of damage because, yeah, Carbink's a freaking monster. And after the burn damage, that puts me at about half. But I feel that if Carbink can come out of this matchup with that substitute out of there, I will feel pretty damn good about it. So after this Moon Blast, he is going to get rid of the substitute, which is perfect. And now the Dusclops is going to hit me with a little Nightshade here. So I am lucky enough to actually survive the burn damage, and that actually gives me an opportunity to save Rock Candy for later. I can use him as death fodder or whatever. It's always just nice to have a Pokemon that I can kind of sack off later. So I decided to switch into Flora here, seeing as his only attacking move really wouldn't be able to hurt me too bad. I'm going to try to get a Leech Seed on this thing or something, unless his other move was Substitute, which would definitely suck. So he goes for a Nightshade. Not going to do a whole lot of damage, obviously. He does 50 damage as after the leftovers. And the freaking Poison, I'm going to be back down to pretty much half. So Meganium's looking alright here. He's seen better days, but whatever. I'm just going to go for the Leech Seed as he decides to switch back into the Kricketune, who is going to get nice and seeded up. I'm kind of afraid of the Kricketune because I know that they are usually Endeavor sets a lot of the time. They run Focus Sash, try to get knocked down to 1 HP, and their gimmick is basically just to use Endeavor to knock whatever down to 1 HP, so I do not want Meganium to be knocked down to that health. If he does go for the Endeavor, that at this point I would die to my my Poison, I believe. So expecting that to come out, I'm going to actually make the call here. I decided to switch into Basculin, I believe. So yeah, I switched Flora out of here. I'm expecting either like an X-Scissor or an Endeavor, obviously, both of which friggin' Basculin's going to be able to live. So I come in here, gets caught by the Sticky Web as he does go for the Endeavor like I expect. So that is going to knock me down to 23 HP after the Leech Seed. That's going to bring me to about yellow. So I guess Basculin came in here kind of safely. I knew I wasn't going to die, and I know that I'll be able to outspeed with an Aqua Jet, obviously priority, and that is going to be a dead Kricketune. So he had no reason to switch that thing out, would have just died to the Stealth Rocks and stuff. So now he's going to bring back out the Amalga, and half the reason why I wanted Stealth Rocks up was because of this little flying asshole, as the Rocks is going to knock him down to the point where a Choice Banded Aqua Jet from Basculin is going to be able to take it out. So that was really nice. Thank God I got that Amalga out of there, as now he's going to bring in the Dusclops. So I don't have a lot to hurt this Dusclops. I know that I can save Basculin for priority later, so it's definitely not. I don't want to stay in here and catch a Will-O-Wisp. So I'm going to switch the fish out of here, and I go back into Rock Candy, expecting him to, just go for anything, honestly, just sacking this thing off, so I'll have a free matchup against the Dusclops. So saving the Carbink was actually relatively useful because I will get the matchup that I want against this Dusclops for free, pretty much. So Carbink goes down. You did your job, though, buddy, as now I'm able to bring in Triangle. So at this point, I want to start setting up a Regigigas sweep. So I'm going to go for the Taunt here, seeing as I don't want this Dusclops going for any Will-O-Wisp shenanigans on me. So I go for the Taunt, allows him to only have to go for the attacking move. So he goes for the Nightshade. Obviously, Triangle doesn't really give a shit, as at this point, I'm going to go ahead and switch into Regigigas. I'm going to predict the Nightshade not going to be able to affect me, as Dial-Up comes out here, this big motherfucker just ready to start get his connection going. The slow start is going to happen, so I have the countdown starts now to the point where I'll be a beast. So he realizes that he can't touch me or Will-O-Wisp me, so he's going to switch out into Gandhi here, and this is the Meta-type. So I have seen these things a couple times in PU, and a lot of the time they are going to run Choice Band, and a Choice Banded huge power high jump kick does fucking hurt from these things, I'll have you know. So I set up a substitute, which is pretty nice. He is obviously going to be able to outspeed me here. Goes for the high jump kick. That is going to take out my substitute, but this little onion head is so damn frail that even before my slow start wears off, a return from Regigigas is actually going to take this thing out. I honestly didn't realize how, you know, frail these things really were, but Regigigas gets a kill without the slow start gone, and that's pretty damn awesome. I call that a win on Regigigas' part. So now he's going to bring back out Hansy. He is no longer taunted, so he will be able to Will-O-Wisp me here, which would be pretty shitty, but he actually makes the double switch here. He switches in the Dusclops, goes right back out into Alfalfa, maybe predicting me to switch out into something else. I actually end up staying in here, and I just go for a substitute. So that's pretty awesome. I get a free substitute on the Politoed, and I can pretty much, I think I have 2 or 3 turns left on the slow start, so I'll be able to start dishing out some damage pretty damn soon here. Honestly, Regigigas is just, it can be really scary if he starts getting some turns on you. But anyways, he shows me that he is actually Perish Song, like I said earlier, and that is going to be really annoying. After Perish Song, you after the 3rd turn, you will faint if you stay in here. So that's pretty shitty. Seeing as my returns aren't going to do enough damage, I really am just kind of racing the Perish Song here to get my slow start out. So honestly, it probably would have been a better play for me to switch out, seeing as the Perish count's going to suck for Regigigas. And maybe try to save him for later, but honestly I actually just make the call to just stay in here. I figure fuck the Perish Song, I don't even care, I love that song anyways. As he actually shows me he's Protect, so he's Protect, Perish Song and stuff, which is really annoying. And he's basically just going to waste another Perish turn there. So I'm at about full health here, I'm behind a substitute. It would be all good if he didn't have Perish Song on this fucking thing. I finally get my act together as I'm going to go for a return. He is going to predict that and go into the Dusclops, which is kind of annoying, and Regigigas isn't able to do a damn thing because next turn I am going to die. So I figured, fuck it, I could have switched him out here, but it's kind of in my best interest to get a Toxic on this Dusclops, just because my team really does not have a lot that can hurt this thing. I do have Knockoff on my Drift Blim, but that's risking getting Will-O-Wisp and stuff like that. So I figured, fuck it, I'm just going to let Regigigas die to the Perish Song, go for the Toxic, just because I would like to get the continual damage on this thing, as he's just going to go for the Nightshade, knowing that I'm actually just going to die to the Perish Song next turn. So I have Drift Blim and Electrode left still, so I figure I should be able to come out with this win here if I can go for the knockoff on this Dusclops, get the Eviolite out of there. I will be able to finish it off with Electrode. He does still have his Politoed left, so I have to conserve Electrode, should be able to finish it off here. So I go into Cool Whip, I'm going to go for the knockoff, gets rid of the Eviolite, which is nice, and he is unfortunately going to go for the Pain Split, which is going to actually give him a whole dickload of health, and that's going to get rid of like half of Cool Whip's health. Doesn't even bring me to the point where I activate my Unburden, which sucks because now my acrobatics aren't going to really hurt. That seems like a recurring theme with this Drift Blim. I can't get his item to activate when I needed to. But yeah, so he's going to go for a Will-O-Wisp here. Also, this thing has a damn knack for getting burned all the fucking time. It's like, damn it, Drift Blim. I should have that one move that, like, you know, like, increase power on burn. I can't remember. Anyway, so I'm burned. That is going to knock me down to my Unburden, though. So it's going to get rid of my item, which is nice, I guess, because now my acrobatics will do a little bit more damage. But seeing as I'm burned, it's not going to hurt, like, at all. So the freaking Dusclops is going to go for another Pain Split. I'm honestly really not too mad about it, though, because I really just need, at this point in the match, I need this Dusclops to be low enough health to where Electrode can kill it with the Thunderbolt, and I'm not really worried about the Politoed, seeing as, obviously, I have a Thunderbolt's Electrode. So he doesn't want to take any more toxic damage, so he's going to actually switch back out into Alfalfa, who he knows is pretty much going down because of the fact that I have an electric type, and I'm going to go for the acrobatics. It does not end up killing this thing, which is unfortunate, but he's actually just going to go for the Protect stall, I believe, here. So he gets his leftovers, he's at red health. I keep getting hurt by my damn burn. He's like, you know what, I'm just going to go for Protect, be an asshole, and make the battle last one more turn. So I'm going to get some burn damage. Obviously, acrobatics is not going to go through. I'm not going to die to this burn damage, but I will have one more attack left in me. He can try to go for the double Protect, but either way, it does not really matter. Electrode is going to be able to come in. He ain't worried about nothing, and so he's going to go for the double Protect. Does not happen. I finished it off with an acrobatics. So hey, at least I got a kill with Drift Blim. Fuck yeah, Drift Blim, that's my boy. So I'm going to die to my burn, and his last Pokemon is the Dusclops. My last Pokemon is the Electrode. And we pretty much just have to see if I did enough damage to that Dusclops to be able to finish it off here. Although, he wouldn't really be able to finish me off either because he doesn't have a move that would be able to be, you know, strong enough to actually knock me out. So, I get the speed lower. It does not really matter because Electro's just naturally fast as tits. And I'm going to go for a Thunderbolt, which will take out the Dusclops. And that was a pretty good match. Honestly, a really long one. I had to work my way around those walls for a while there. But I thought that was pretty interesting. Honestly, if you guys liked the video, hit that thumbs up button. And I will see you guys later. Peace out.